Hey, excuse me, Grand Rising. It is Thursday, February 12th, 2026. Cheers. So I'm in a different spot today because my mother-in-law is having surgery today. So we are here supporting my mother-in-law in her surgery and, whatever. So just hoping for good things to come out of the surgery. So we're here. We're waiting for that. And, it's already been such a busy day for me. Which is okay because apparently I need to keep my mind busy. And I've been doing a lot of not keeping my mind busy lately. Like I've been so busy this last day and a half. I am still fully exhausted. I kind of took a nap yesterday afternoon, slept for a little bit between midnight and 4 a.m., slept for another 20 minutes after that. It's been a crazy day. Was up at 4 a.m., tried to go back to sleep, did not work. What else was it? Tried to get the kid up for school. That didn't work. I had to wake the husband up. And finally, I just gave up on waking people up. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to that point, but I just gave up on waking people up. I was like, you know what? If y'all ain't getting up, I don't even care anymore. And I went and laid back down because I was so tired still. But even yesterday, I was so tired in the afternoon. Like, I got up, I was doing stuff in the morning, packaging up stuff, delivered something, like, right across town. And then I was, like, super duper exhausted. And so I had to take a nap yesterday afternoon. So I got a small nap in. Wasn't the nap that I wanted, but that's okay. I got up and I was doing other stuff anyway. Started the baking process all over again yesterday afternoon after my nap. Chocolate chip cookies, banana bread, zucchini bread, banana nut bread, zucchini nut bread. What else did I make? More cinnamon rolls. So I didn't mix up my cinnamon roll dough to roll out. I didn't even get it mixed up until 8 o'clock last night. So when I got around to it, I was like, oh man, it's so late. And I didn't want to stay up so late last night. But I did because the dough was doughing. I had already been baking, so it was extra warm in the kitchen. I was extra warm in the kitchen. And the dough was really spongy and really floofy. And my initial thing when I mixed up this dough was I will bag it up and put it in the freezer and deal with it today. But my dough was so floofy and workable, I was like, I can't waste this. So I put myself through it. I did it to myself and went ahead and rolled out the dough and made up the cinnamon rolls anyway. And it was the cinnamon roll dough, after I rolled them up and I got them in the pans, it was so floofy that I didn't even really have to let them rise again before I put them in the oven. They're like extra huge cinnamon rolls. That was my goal for the first batch. It didn't happen that way. I think I maybe misheated my water or didn't let it cool off enough or something. I did something different that killed the yeast in the first batch that apparently did not kill the yeast in the second batch. So that's great. So they're nice and big and huge and floofy. Like some of them are as big as my head. So that's great. So yeah, sometimes we have days when you don't get a lot of sleep and maybe you have a lot to do. And I had a lot to do yesterday. I got it all done. And the only thing left after I got everything else done was cinnamon rolls left on the table to cool overnight. It was amazing. It was so amazing to wake up and nothing needed to be done. I did pack up a couple of cinnamon rolls extra to bring up to the hospital for my mother-in-law and sister-in-law and brother-in-law. Other than that, there was nothing left. I got all the dishes done. I got all my packaging done. I got all my labeling done. Got more labels made. And I made more business cards. I was on it yesterday. And basically, the husband knew, stay out of my way because I am busy. Basically, I'm going to run you over if you get in my way. And he kind of saw that. And then he just went and did his own thing. I don't know what he did. Probably went and took a nap too because we were just busy. And now today we're at the hospital waiting for word on, the surgery and hope it goes well. So if you're a praying person or good vibes person, whatever, we could use some extra good vibes for my mother-in-law. I'm just exhausted right now. I could take a nap, but I'm not. I brought yarn instead. I haven't touched the yarn, but I brought yarn to work on in case I get bored while we're sitting here waiting, which is fine. It's important that when you are waiting on something, that you have also something to occupy your mind with, so you don't over worry. Because a lot of us will over worry. And kind of on the drive here this morning, I was chatty Cathy to the husband, and I could tell he was getting irritated with me being a chatty Cathy. But I was like, you know what? Maybe it's my job today. Maybe I need to put my shit that I'm feeling aside and deal with this. And even yesterday, I got to put my stuff aside. I got to put my emotions and whatever I'm feeling, I have to put it aside. Not that I put it aside in a negative way. I'm putting it aside because it hurts. There's a whole lot of times that if I start thinking about Jeremiah, his birthday's in 2 days, it hurts. I start hurting and it hurts. So, and again, that hurt, as soon as I hurt, it starts hurting right here. So what I'm doing is not putting it away in a negative way. I'm putting my emotions and stuff away so I can help others in whatever they need help with. Crap. I'm leaking again right here. That's all right. So, sometimes you have that. You're heavy grieving and other people need you. You got to put your stuff away for a little bit and grieve in your own time. Do what you got to do. I saw one of my friends. She posted, she's grieving one of her children. And she does a lot of it in the shower. She does a lot of breaking down and crying in the shower. She doesn't do it in front of her youngest daughter. And I, too, do what I can to not let my youngest one see when I break down, when I feel like crap. So, and it doesn't always work, and sometimes she catches me in the middle of my hermit-like grieving, and she comforts me, and that's great, but I also she doesn't understand, and I don't want her to understand. I don't want to expect her to understand. And so when people say, I can't even imagine, don't. If you're going to imagine me doing anything, imagine me on a beach with powdered sugar sand in between my toes. Don't imagine what I've been going through. Imagine me on a beach with powdered sugar sand in between my toes, if you're going to imagine anything. Or you can imagine yourself doing that. Don't imagine the worst possible thing, because your imagination is extremely powerful. Be careful what you imagine. Grand Rising Glenda, I think. I can't see shit right now because there's a fence behind and it's white. So if you can see it in my glasses, it's white. So it's like extremely blinding. So find your things on a Thursday to feel grateful for. Currently, I am grateful that I have the ability to put my feelings aside and go help others when they need to be helped. And not that my husband needs my help. He doesn't really need my help. I don't know. I can distract him. I can be funny. I can say something randomly weird. And that's his view of me as well. When I've been going through whatever, and I've been extremely sad and angry and frustrated, then he tries to say something that's going to help boost my morale. And sometimes it works. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be happy right now. So sometimes it's my job to put my stuff aside and to be happy, and not even happy, but to be supportive for others and whatever they're going through. And sometimes it's creating a distraction for the other people. So I'm grateful that I have the ability to be here today with my husband. And even though we're both running on a little bit of sleep, we'll be all right. We'll get through it. And so find your own things in your own life to feel grateful for. Sometimes it's breathing. Sometimes it's the ability to wipe your own ass. That's all I got today, right now, because I'm so tired. I'm just going by what I normally say. It's on a memory loop. Also, be your own magic, find your own magic. I was reminded of this last night. Not that I forgot it really, but I messaged my friend when she said she was having a rough day. So be your own magic, find your own magic. I've noticed that there's this breathing technique. When I tell people just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. And it's a conscious breathing. Like we breathe all the time anyway. You breathe unconsciously, subconsciously. You're just automatic. It's an automatic thing. So you don't think about it. But maybe you need to think about the breathing. Yes, they will be extremely hard. So I'm doing what I can to get through whatever. I don't know. You don't even know how you're going to get through it. You just got to do it. Whatever. But so magic breathing. So I messaged my friend about this. And so when I say, we need to practice breathing, focus on breathing, sometimes the breath work you need to do isn't just the normal breathing. And this, it's a subconscious thing that where you just automatically breathe. Sometimes you got to make it a point to think. Breathe in for 7. Hold for 4. And breathe out for 8. Now that wasn't all that. I didn't breathe in for 7. I didn't hold for 4. And I didn't breathe out for 8. But that's somehow like different breathing techniques have different magical things that it's doing to your insides, your brain. It clears the fog. There's another one. And some of these, when I do these specific breathing techniques for the allotted time that it says to do it for, within the next 5 minutes, 3 or 4 magical things will happen that I didn't expect to happen. So I'm not saying that people aren't, consciously breathing, because everyone's breathing. If you're alive, you're breathing. We're all breathing something. But sometimes we can take a step back and focus, even just for 1 minute. For 1 minute, you could get 3 or 4 sets of that specific deep breathing technique. You can get 3 or 4 sets in 1 minute. And then you can go on about your day. Just stop for 1 minute and get you some magic breathing going on. So whether you find your own magic or whether you create your own magic, either way, breathing is magic, because when you do the deep breath, you're pulling extra oxygen in, which is fluttering around in your brain stuff up here, your brain matter. It's fluttering around up there, and it's opening up pathways that need that oxygen. And then you're holding it, and it's, floating around in there. And then you let it out. And now you can let out the negative energy. But be sure, if you're going to open up new pathways for new thoughts, that you pick the thoughts that go into the spaces that you just cleared. Because if you don't pick the thoughts to go into the spaces that you just cleared up by your deep breathing, other forms of information will get into those spots that you just cleared out, and now you're going to have to do the clearing out all over again. So pay attention, because either that space will be filled for you by some other whatever, or you can fill it yourself with your own good thoughts of whatever you want to fill it with. Also, be your own sunshine. Whether tomorrow's promised or not doesn't matter. I say it every day, because every day we need that gentle reminder. I may not feel gentle right now, but every day we still need that gentle reminder. Like, I'm not screaming and yelling at you. Be your own sunshine. And if you can't do it in this moment, that's okay. If you can't be magical in this moment, that's okay. If you can't be grateful for anything, feel the gratitude for anything, that's okay. I'm not saying this stuff because you got to do it or else. Nope, done. We just need to practice. And the more I'm reminding you, the more we can practice. All of us, all together, including me. And that stems from me as a child, when I was told any new piece of information. I told you the first time, that's all I'm going to tell you. You either do it the first time exactly how I said, or I'm going to beat the shit out of you until you do. That's how I was raised. No reminders for anything. And here I am, as an adult, learning that yes, everyone needs reminders. And when your 2-year-old won't keep her clothes on, and you got to repeat yourself 1,000 times, keep your clothes on, keep your clothes on, keep your clothes on, and they don't, And then they turn school age. Now you got to say it again, all over again, 1,000 more times. And then you got to go through these different stages where you're consistently repeating yourself. Maybe it's not always keep your clothes on. It's just something that I had to deal with. But it's other things, don't pick your nose, or different things, or, don't pee outside. Whatever it is that you have to remind your kids about. Peeing outside was the thing that the boys did all the time. There was lattice work on the porch from the first house we lived in, and the boys always loved. I knew when they peed outside because they liked peeing through the lattice work, and they would dribble. All three of them. Of course, then I yelled at them and screamed at them for doing it. And nowadays, I don't give a shit. If you're going to pee through the fence, pee through the fence. Just make sure it's not electrified. Don't hurt yourself. So yeah, do what you can. Recap. Find your things to feel grateful for. Be your own magic. Find your own magic and be your own sunshine. Even if the sun is extra bright. That white backsplash. I didn't think about it when I parked here, that sun would be so bright, on the white thing, the white fence. So do what you can just to be better for yourself. And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Either way is okay. I'm extra tired these last couple of days. I don't know why. I just am. Maybe it's even the last month or so I've been extra tired. So I've been taking more naps. If you need more naps in your life, get more naps in your life. It used to be when I would want a nap, I would get yelled at by whoever was around me. We need you up. We can't have you sleeping. And now I take a nap and no one says anything. And it's so relaxing and refreshing to not be screamed at because I need extra rest for myself. That's amazing. So if you need that and other people are not giving it to you or not letting you rest, tell them to buzz off and you'll get back with them later. And if they don't like that answer, shut the door and lock it and let them complain to themselves. Let's see. Yes. I love you so much, Claudia. Mwah, all the way across the pond. That made me think about something, but whatever. So, conspiracy truths. I'm not even calling them theories anymore. I'm just going to call them conspiracy truths because that's what it is. So, do what you can. Just be better for yourself. Everyone have a great, lovely, amazing Thursday. I will always be up and doing stuff anyway. I just can't lay around and wallow in my own stuff. I will get up and sit down and wallow in my own stuff. I can't lay down and do it. I got to be up, sitting up, and I'll wallow in my own stuff while I'm sitting up in my little hermit world when I'm hermiting it up. Today, not a hermit. Tomorrow, maybe I'll be a hermit. Who knows? Everyone have a great day. Misty out.